Hi, my friends. This is Imogene with Emerging Prosper. I want to take a few moments to discuss how often do you choose you? So, this lesson is titled Choosing You and what it takes and what does it mean to choose you. And choosing you is a beautiful thing because if you are not fulfilled, if you are not um, fed, if you are not feeling happy, if your health is not correct, you cannot give yourself fully to anyone. You cannot do all the things that you need to do. I so have learned this the hard way because I am the type of person that will give until I'm completely depleted. And then at that point, when the last little bit is gone, I'm trying to fight my way back up. And so I thought I'll do this video just to share with you what I've learned and what I've put into practice over this last year. And it has worked. It has worked. I feel this is the best I felt in many years. Um, Feeling my health is good, my emotional state is good, my finances is good. It's because of these four little simple steps and tools that I used. And it all started with me saying, I choose you. And so I want you to sit down and listen to this and take it to heart. Choose it's you. It's okay. So the first thing that we will do is choosing you is that we have to love ourselves and show ourselves love. So in showing ourselves love, there is I just use the word love. So L, you have to lead yourself. So you have to be able to lead yourself, and leading yourself meaning you have to shift paradigms. And a paradigm is a multitude of habits that has been passed down from generation to generation. No, I'm not talking about all habits has to be broken, but there are some generational curses that need to be broken. And no, they will not be broken just because you thought about it and you know it's there. To break anything, it takes a form of action and a form of power and a form of willingness to do it. So you have to break these generational curses. So in doing that, in leading yourself, is to lead yourself into doing new habits, developing new habits. And so, are you cooking the same way? So if I'm a person, if I have diabetes and I have a high blood pressure or high cholesterol, and I've been only taught how to cook fried food and things that are the food that is not healthy, but it tastes good, and I'm not kicking it. I'm not saying that you shouldn't do that, but everything done in moderation, because it is the point that I got to break the habit. If I know eating in that manner is going to cause my health to deteriorate, and for me to not to live a complete healthy life, a life where I can get around and I can do the things, I can walk in my purpose, and live that abundant life that God has called me, I have to make certain decisions on creating new habits. So that means I have to choose a different way of cooking. I have to choose that I may have to get up and I have to exercise. I have to, and for me, like, in our family, we have this way of our mind. We be fighting depression and feeling all these different feelings and feeling like we're not good enough. But to fight those things, I feel for me, I had to stop and learn to start meditating and quieting my mind so that I can speak to my mind, so I can hear the Spirit of God, because I am a woman of faith. Hear Him talk to me to reaffirm the person that He made me to be. I'm wonderfully and skillfully made. And just like you are wonderfully and skillfully made, and there are so many gifts in you that He wants to use, but you have to break those generational curses. And you do that by leading yourself into the way that is right, leading yourself the way that's going to be best for your health, for your finances, for your emotional state, for your best for your even for your family. Because if you're healthy, that a lot of times means that your family is healthy and you're building legacies. So that's leading yourself. Then there is the O for overcoming their terror bearer. There's going to be things in your life that's going to make you so scared. It's going to make you feel like you can't do it. I can't do it because no one in my family has ever done it. I can't do it because I didn't grow up, having that kind of money. I didn't grow up with that, those things around me. It just reminds me when I was in school going, getting my BA in accounting, and I remember having this conversation with a faculty member, and I went in there with this whole terror thing. Like, I can't do that because, my family, we weren't talked about those kind of things. We weren't talked about college. I didn't know anything about accounting. I didn't, that was just a God thing. God led me there and I followed. But, he told me, he said, shut up. He said, nobody cares about that. He said, do you want that they care about results? And he was another African American man. And for that moment, it felt harsh, but he was correct. He was telling me, get over your fears. You're going to do this afraid. And that is why I push so hard. You got to just do it afraid, because the blessing is on the other side of your fear. It is not all that you want in life. If it's all coming so easy, there is nothing for you to fight against. That means you're not dreaming big enough. That means you're not pushing hard enough. You have not stressed yourself, because that dream is always on the other side of the fear. That means you gotta cry sometimes. That means sometimes you're gonna have to get down on your knees and just pray. And that means sometimes you're going to have to go learn and refresh a skill. That means you're going to have to spend some time learning about what it is that you need to know. You may need to know something about marketing. You may need to know something about, I don't know, whatever it may be. But there is something that you have to do. And even after you do that, now honestly, they're going to still part of you, of your paradigm. We was talking about leaving yourself out of it. It's a part of your paradigm is telling you, oh, you can't do that. Other people are better than you at that. That's not for you. You're going to have to fight and push past all of that and overcome that fear and just do it afraid. And knowing that if I fail and if I fall down, I'm going to get back up. And it takes you falling down and getting back up to establish the true power, I believe, that God has placed into us. I think about the story of David in the Bible. All he had to go to just to become king. He was anointed king, like we've already been anointed to be in our destiny. But David, he had to go through so much. Saul chasing him, trying to kill him, and then finally later he became king. But there are some things in us that we just need to just face. And sometimes we don't want to face them. We want to just kind of shy away from them and not do them. But there's destiny in you, and destiny is really on the other side of that, over that fear. So push past and overcome that terror. And then the V in love is for victorious. You are victorious. You are not a victim. So you have to check those victim thoughts in your mind. Your mind may be telling you, woe is me. I grew up and, I didn't have this and we don't have that. And, if your mind is telling you that and you're trying to get sympathy from other people based on what you are saying that you don't have, for one, you got to realize you are reinforcing those negative things people have said about you. You are reinforcing them. So it's a form of self-hate. So you are reinforcing those things. So you have to begin to tell yourself, no, I am not a victim. I am victorious. That's how it was, but that's not how it's going to continue to be. And so your haters gonna hate. And that's okay. So you got to keep pushing through and just knowing that you're not a victim. So when those come up, even with myself, when they started to come up, I begin to speak to them right immediately. I don't let them just, kind of just be there festering. I speak to them. I say, Satan, get thee behind me. You a lie. I am. And whatever is saying that I am, I say the opposite, because you got to know those are those fears, or those are those paradigms that we are trying to shift, because those things come up. We have so many records that are in our unconscious mind that comes up through our actions, but we don't recognize them a lot of times because we don't stop and think and stop and reflect. Reflection is so important. That's why I love meditation, because it gives me that chance to reflect. And so the last pointer is E, and that's emerging. And emerging is when you look it up in the dictionary, it says moving out of or away from something and coming into view. And I love that. That's why my company is named Emerge and Prosper, because it's coming into view. And when you begin to take on these things, leading yourself, doing it afraid, knowing that you're not a victim, you're victorious. You're going to begin to merge into be unapologetically you. You don't care if somebody don't like it or do. You know what you care about is that you're walking in your purpose, and that destiny that is there for you, that you're going to go get it. That's what you care about, because you know that the legacy that you are building depends on you. Because if you wait for other people to affirm you, you wait for other people to even help you, sometimes it's not going to be there. You have to do this thing yourself. You have to do it. You have to move out of. And sometimes you got to be those peculiar people. Sometimes you have to do this thing alone. And it's okay, because again, I believe you have been equipped with all things. You have been equipped with everything you need to reach your destiny. So be unapologetically you. Yes, it is a journey and a process, but you know what? You can do it. If I can do it, you can do it. And so we're going to do this thing together. So yes, I love you and I believe in you. So until next time, this is Imogene with Emerge and Prosper.